All right, so last earnings, Joe, you said tariffs aren't really a problem yet, at least not for those results. But what are you seeing today, just a couple days later, a couple weeks later, and also going forward? How big of an impact are tariffs going to have on the economy? You have so much visibility through so many different companies.
Yeah, what we're hearing, Frank, is from our major ocean freight shippers that we should expect shipments to start declining in mid-May. And, what we're hearing from, the large ocean carriers is that they're hearing production is still continuing in Asia. Inventory is building over there, and there's an expectation or hope that trade deals will be reached, and then we'll start shipments again. But we're expecting international intermodal shipments to start declining here in a couple of weeks. There's been a spike up in the beginning of the year, especially in the last month or so, that's been coming across both into the West and into the East. About less than 20% of the shipments into the East Coast, where we are from Asia. Most of it comes to the West and then comes across the United States. So watching it very carefully. But other parts of the business, autos production in the U.S. is increasing. Steel production in the U.S. is increasing. So it's a mixed story right now, but we're watching those international shipments very carefully.
All right, so when you're talking to your customers, which again are the CEOs of a lot of big companies, what are they saying to you? Are they kind of taking a wait and see approach? Are they holding back for a bit? Or are they making serious changes to their strategy, their supply chain, their sourcing?
Well, on the automotive side, they're definitely making changes. You heard the president last night. They're trying to make sure that they have, production capacity in the U.S., trying to make the volume. Mexico and Canadian production has come down a little bit, and I would expect, given what was announced last night, that, the auto part stuff should start to, migrate some of that back into the U.S. The rest of our customer base is kind of wait and see. The uncertainty is real, and they're wait and see to see what happens on these trade deals, but also, just general overall with the economy. Does the reconciliation bill get done? Do we get certainty on what's happening with taxes and what's happening with the GDP and with consumers in general? I'd say most of our, customers are talking about where's the consumer going and where's the general economy going to go, given all this uncertainty and, fragility in the market.
All right, we had the CEO of the National Association of Manufacturers on a bit earlier. He says the tax cut bill needs to be a permanent thing to give a lot of these companies assurances that if they move their businesses and their sourcing and their manufacturing back to the U.S., that they're going to have a stable tax situation. You're also a member of the Business Roundtable. You also meet with other CEOs under those auspices, if you will. What are they saying about taxes? I know we're talking a lot about trade, but what about taxes?
Yeah, taxes, people are looking for certainty. The president has been consistent about what he said he was going to do, and so we're expecting that the tax cuts that were made in 2017 will be made permanent this time around. Obviously, on the corporate tax side, we're looking for certainty there as well. There's a lot of activity around the, advanced or budget or depreciation, and can we take bonus depreciation and make that happen? So that's one thing that's very interesting to a lot of us, especially as here at CSX. But it's really about certainty. Can we plan? Can we get, what can we know what's going to happen, and can we run the business accordingly?
All right, I want to go back to your wheelhouse of the transports. You have such a view on the goods coming from Asia, but just goods being shipped in other places, or from other places, I should say, at least to the East Coast. I know that's really your wheelhouse. A lot of concerns about empty shelves coming up in mid-May, supply shortages. What is your view when it comes to that? And also, if people have slowed down their ordering from Asia and other places, how long is it going to take to ramp all that back up and get things back supplied?
Yeah, so we don't expect there to be shortages in the near term, because there was such a significant increase in shipments coming into the end of the first quarter, and certainly we've seen through April. So I would expect that there's a good month or so of strong supplies there. The key thing is every month that goes on, then we delay, and then we have the possibility of things happening. There is a concern from our ocean shippers that if there is a big influx of ships that start to arrive, can the ports and can all of us handle it, at one time? So that's their concern. They've reached out to us to make sure that we can work on. But for now, I think we should be okay, because there was front loading given the expected tariffs. But how long this goes on will be critical. You ask how long it takes, you're talking 4 to 6 weeks at minimum to get things into the system. So that bubble will happen if we don't get some of these trade deals going.
Joe, can I put you on the spot? We're just talking about the first 100 days. If you were in the administration today, is there a policy that you would put forward to try to fix all this? What would you do to kind of shore up the economy, because there is so much uncertainty?
I think, that word uncertainty keeps coming up. And so I think, if I were in the administration, which I'm not, and I respect them greatly, it's just to provide more clarity on where the direction is, and where I know that, the president likes to have uncertainty to kind of, allow for, kind of the best negotiations. But I think the consumers and companies are looking for, what's the plan? What's the certainty around how can we plan the business? whether it's on trade. We want fair trade as well as, as everyone else, but also then, on taxes, on other parts of the economy, whether it's regulatory reform, cost reform in the government, just looking for that certainty and a plan so that we can plan the businesses